Hello, we're in Northampton, Massachusetts at the Bridge Street Cemetery, an enormous Protestant cemetery, started about 1680s. Remember, Northampton started in 1650. It was the second community in western Massachusetts after Springfield. So, it was a very old place. And there's a modern part off to our left, but the old part is always going to be towards our right hand side. So this is an enormous place. There's other big cemeteries in the city of Northampton, and they're trying to get as much business pushed out of this area because this is filling up very fast. Okay, we're going by, I would call these the late 1800s section. Remember, there must be a 1600 section, 1700 section, 1800 section, and a 1900 section. That's how old this cemetery is. And we won't meet the absolute oldest until we get halfway through. And most of the roadways are either tarred with gravel and sometimes they're just packed dirt. And the neighborhoods are grown up around here. So this used to be the outskirts of Northampton. Now the neighbors have come and met it up. Okay, you're starting to see some stones on the right that are from the earlier part of the 1800s. Almost, I think all the footstones are gone. All the stones are now lined up, which it wasn't this way in the beginning. There was an older cemetery in Northampton, and that was moved in about 1680s when this cemetery started up. And that older cemetery was from 1650. Now, once you start getting into very old sections, you're going to start to recognize some of the last names. A lot of streets in Northampton are going to be named after these old family names. So, like, there's a Strong family over there, and of course, the Strong family has lots of members in Northampton. And here we got a flat stone. It would never made into a table one. You can tell that because it's perfectly flush on the edges, but it's on the ground. And then next to it are some memorial stones. Right now we're starting to get into the very old. So you can tell the 1700s because they're usually brown stones or slate. And so we have brown stones in front of us and slate to the right. And so we're in the 1700s. All the gravestones are pointing in the wrong direction, at least the ones close to me. These big headstones should be pointing towards the west so people can come up, and the body would lie with the head towards the west and the feet towards the east. But a lot of these gravestones have been turned around. But that's common to almost every cemetery that's very old. It's been reworked so that they're put in the right direction. This whole section is the wrong direction. Okay, now there's a big family plot in front of us. The curbing tells you it's the Damon family and Damon Road. That's where their farm was. Okay, now we're coming up to a family tomb to our right front, right? And it's big. It's made out of long metal brownstone. Okay, it's a Holden tomb from 1849, and they used to put bodies in there during the winter, or they put bodies in there when they came from far away on a railroad. A family member died 1,000 miles away. They'd hold them there for a couple of days to get the plot ready. Okay, now we're going to see off to our right a very large mausoleum. So there's lots of mausoleums in the Pioneer Valley, and almost every large cemetery will have at least one of them. And here's one. It's the Bates family. It's quite large. Almost looks like a chapel look to it, which is wonderful, and it really complements the whole environment out here. Now, if you want to find this, I found the 1700s and 1800s, 1900s. Where are the 1600s? Well, most of those are scattered around in front of us on the edge of Parsons Road near the Bridge Street School. All right, some extremely old burials are there. Of the ones that are left, there's very few left. Look for the old brownstone that have irregular edges on the side, and you're probably looking at a candidate for a 1600 tomb. Also look for an emblem on some of them, because some of them are marked off specially. All right, now there's not going to be many of them. There might be in the cemetery maybe 30 of them left. All right, so you're going to have to look around for them. All right, so we peeked at the edge of the cemetery. We're looking around the side of the mausoleum. And there's a big row to our right, big row of very ancient stones. And these are some more of the 16 and 1700 stones. We also see towards our right, I can see, just in my vision to the right, 3 table gravestones. And we'll have special stops on some of them. 2 of them still have the original legs to them. 1 of them does not. It's been changed over. Now to my left-hand side, I see 3 more table gravestones, right? And those are later in date. And those two seem to have the original legs, and 1 doesn't. So wonderful looking at this. And you can actually walk through this cemetery and see very easily what century you're in. It's arranged in that fashion, very much so. On the right hand side is the Warner family, a very popular name within Northampton itself. On our left hand side is the Forbes family, and Forbes Library was named after that family. Then on my right hand side you see the Stebbins family, a very common name within Hampshire County. Now the road is filled with potholes, so be very careful when you're driving around. I would always park in the northern part and walk into the southern part. I'm having to carefully avoid all the deep holes. They're deep enough to almost pull your muffler off. Now on the right hand side is the Strong family, and on the left hand side is the Clark family. Also 2 very common names in Northampton. Okay, and finally we come back to the late 1800s, early 1900s section. And we have in front of us, on the right, a stone gravestone, which is very interesting. And all the names are engraved in line with the stone itself. And finally, we're reaching the middle 1900s, the late 1900s. And anything that's in the 2000s would be in the small section towards the very north. So it's been an interesting ride around the Bridge Street Cemetery and looking at these incredibly beautiful stones. It's an awesome sight. So I'm going to thank you for coming along.